Assalamu alaikum. Today I will discuss the topic of respiration, its definition, its complete mechanism, and its types as well. So let's start our topic: respiration. What is respiration? Respiration basically is a biochemical process. What type of biochemical process? In which cells of organisms obtain energy by consuming or utilization of oxygen and glucose, resulting in the release of carbon dioxide, water, and ATP, the currency of energy, as we already have discussed this topic. So it's a biochemical process. Bio stands for living organism, life, and chemical stands for the chemical compounds that are present inside those living organisms. So there will be the breakdown of or the synthesis of some chemicals inside living organism by this process. So by this process organisms gain energy as a product by utilizing glucose and oxygen. So glucose and oxygen are the reactants that are utilized and break down in the form of carbon dioxide, water, and energy is the ATP. सो दैट इज अ केमिकल इक्वेशन. सो ग्लूकोज, जब भी ग्लूकोज जो है वो टूटेगा तो वो ऑक्सीजन की प्रेजेंट में टूटेगा. सो ग्लूकोज के अंदर जो CH बॉन्ड है, द बॉन्ड दैट इज प्रेजेंट बिटवीन द कार्बन एंड हाइड्रोजन एटम will be break down and resultantly form energy as well as the byproducts carbon dioxide and water as well. But in photosynthesis we have studied that there is the formation of glucose and oxygen while the reactants जो कि यूटिलाइज होती हैं चीजें वो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एंड वाटर हैं. अब इस केमिकल इक्वेशन को अगर हम देखते हैं तो it can come into our mind that the reactants of respirations are the products in photosynthesis, while the reactants in photosynthesis are the products in respiration. So you can say that is the reverse process, but it is not actually. There are many differences present between both the processes. While photosynthesis occurs in plant, while respiration occurs both in plant and animals. While photosynthesis just occurs in plants. Second one, photosynthesis occurs in the presence of sunlight. It requires sunlight or may be present in the dark, occurs in the dark. But respiration occurs in all the organism at any time, at all the time. We get energy from respiration, but in photosynthesis we get the glucose as a product. Let's start our topic. So photosynthesis in the presence of light, in photosynthesis presence of light and chlorophyll we get the glucose, while that is not present in the respiration. Not sunlight is required, no chlorophyll is required there in respiration. So by utilizing oxygen and glucose will break down in the presence of oxygen and form carbon dioxide and water, and we will yield ATP as well as a energy. Respiration and burning process are much similar. While you all know oxygen helps in burning, so here in respiration oxygen also helps in what process? That is the breakdown of CH bond. So utilization of oxygen both in burning and respiration, and resulting oxygen is used to break down CH bond. The bond present between carbon and hydrogen atom will be break down to produce energy. So you can have the example of petrol, the diesel. ये जितने भी प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड्स हैं जो यूज करते हैं आप, जिनको जलाने के लिए आप यूज करते हैं, और जब ये टूटते हैं तो आपको एनर्जी की डिफरेंट फॉर्म्स जो हैं वो जनरेट होती हैं. एज यू कैन सी ऑन योर राइट साइड CH, there is a molecule you can say is a present inside the organic compound C and H. The bond is indicated by a line. If there is oxygen present, the bond will break down, bond will be disappear, and different types of energies, different forms of energy you will get. You can get light energy, you can get heat energy, different forms of energy you can get from the burning process. But from the respiration you get the form of ATP as a energy. How do we get energy by respiration? By the breakdown of CH bond. That is very important. How do we get the energy? By the breakdown of CH bond inside the organic compounds. Organic compound means the glucose that was broken down in the carbon dioxide and water and yielding the energy in the form of ATP. Oxidation and reduction reactions. Oxidation means the addition of oxygen and reduction stands for the addition of hydrogen. So these processes are also known as respiration, basically are also known as oxidation and reduction reaction. It is also known as cellular respiration. Why? Because it occurs at the cellular level. In this process, basically these are the two lines, very important lines. Food is basically oxidized, means there is the presence of addition of food, addition of oxygen to the food. Food is in the form of glucose. So glucose is oxidized, means addition of oxygen is there in the glucose, and we will get the carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is forming from the glucose, and then the oxygen is reduced. So there is the addition of hydrogen to the oxygen. So there is a reduction of oxygen and water will be formed as a byproduct. Types of respiration. On the availability of oxygen, there are two types of respiration: aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration means that in the presence of oxygen, respiration will occur, while anaerobic respiration is the absence of oxygen. While it's not dependent upon the oxygen is present or not. Basically, it is occurs in the absence of oxygen. So we will get the different products yielding energy. In both the cases, energy will be yielded, but the byproducts will be different. Here, aerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration, there is a complete glucose oxidation. Why complete glucose oxidation? Because of the oxygen. So it stands. Where I talk about the complete oxidation, it means there is the breakdown of all the bonds present, breakdown of all the CH bond present in the organic molecule. It occurs in two phases. In first phase, glucose is broken down into molecules of pyruvic acid. In both the cases, aerobic and anaerobic respiration, the first phase is similar. The first step is similar. That is, the glucose is broken down into two molecules of pyruvic acid. Then, in aerobic respiration, each pyruvic acid molecule oxidizes to form CO2, carbon dioxide, water, and energy. So, with the maximum release of energy. Energy basically is depending upon the CH bond. If all the CH bonds are broken down, we will get the maximum amount of energy. So it here comes in the aerobic respiration. Here is the chemical equation: glucose, oxygen, we get the carbon dioxide, water, and energy. While in aerobic and anaerobic respiration, there is incomplete oxidation of glucose. Why? Because of the absence of oxygen. In first phase, that is similar to aerobic respiration, glucose is broken down into two molecules of pyruvic acid. In the second phase, you can see pyruvic acid is not completely oxidized. It is transformed into two products, ethyl alcohol or lactic acid. So it can be ethyl alcohol or lactic acid depending upon the substrate that is present. So if all the bonds are not broken down because of the absence of oxygen, so we will yield less amount of energy, because of the many CH bond are left unbroken. So here is the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration, very important points related to the difference between these two types. In aerobic, there is the presence of oxygen, while in anaerobic, there is the absence of oxygen. In aerobic, due to the presence of oxygen, all the CH bond, those are present in the glucose molecule, will be broken down. It means all the glucose molecules are completely oxidized. Oxidation stands for the addition of oxygen. Because oxygen is present, so there will be a complete oxidation. And next one is the incomplete oxidation of glucose because oxygen is absent. Here, pyruvic acid yield carbon dioxide, water, and energy, while here pyruvic acid yield ethyl alcohol and lactic acid. Here, aerobic respiration, there is a maximum release of energy, while here with the less amount of energy is released because many CH bonds are left broken. While in aerobic respiration, all the CH bond, the bonds present between carbon and hydrogen are completely broken down, while in anaerobic respiration, many CH bonds are left unbroken. Thank you very much.